I'm Shaun Parfitt and I'm one of the founders of Let's Talk Men's Mental Health. Let's Talk Men's Mental Health is a peer support group with over 300 members, and we are focused purely on the three principles that we run by: is no pressure, no judgment and no stigma. And that is literally what we are all proud about. Is we don't pressurise anyone to speak, we don't judge anybody for what it is they go through or what they say. And as I say, there's no stigma around that. You're made to feel just as welcome for having what you may deem something to be really small or really large going on in life. The idea was basically from the sort of the gap we've seen with mental health directed at men entirely. Not just the fact that it wasn't available to men, but it's just trying to get men speaking in general. Sometimes we be a little bit abrasive by the words we use, but we choose to have that image to be more accessible to men in the valleys. Every other word is a curse word in the valleys, so it's not that we lead our campaigns like that, but we're not afraid to use it to sort of appear normal then and show that the everyday man is speaking up. I've had a short bout with depression myself. I think it was going back to about 2017, where I had about 6 months out of work. Just grew up in the valleys, just not really fitting in. I think I was just suppressing those feelings over the years. Never wanted to play rugby, never wanted to really go and hang out with the boys. I think that when you get to adulthood, I think those type of things start coming to the surface, especially when you have your own kids and you start worrying about the stresses they're going to go through. I think it just sort of bubbled to the surface for me, and then all came out at once, and just fell out of work and spent 6 months doing nothing really. Unfortunately, I cut myself off entirely. I didn't bother with my mother, my father, even my partner was on the verge of sort of walking out and leaving. I think it was only the fact that we had a little boy that she stayed. Just grew up where men are sort of forced to be men, don't speak about your feelings, they don't exist. Had to man up at the time, which times have thankfully moved on from that sort of phrase. But that was the way I sort of felt at the time, not knowing anything better. I think, especially in the valleys, we still got the old mentality of men being the breadwinners, or men having to be the men. Then it's that image you have. You've got to be like sort of big burly bloke, and you can't have feelings, you can't cry. Men just almost feel they cannot speak up, and I think as long as that goes on, the next generation will struggle, and then we'll keep continuously having a knock-on effect for future generations, unfortunately. 2018 rolled round, I'd lost a friend to suicide. With my feelings about trying to take myself out of the situation as well previously, it was just one of those things we thought, it has to be done, so why not us, really? Yeah, certainly. So a lot of the feedback we get is mostly around about getting people out of the house, somewhere they feel safe, where they're not going to be judged for things like fitness levels if you're going for walks, or maybe getting through those social anxieties like going somewhere to meet for breakfast. They may seem like small things even to us now, but for some people that is some of their biggest goals, and we do try to ask the most difficult questions, but whilst providing a safe space for men to speak at the same time. So we always go by the same values of there's no pressure to ever speak, there's no judgment if you do speak, and there's a stigma-free zone. That's what sort of the main principles really.